I have to create this book and Christmas is coming up. Shall we make some Christmas prompts? This place is a mess. We need to clean up. But look how cute my nails look though. I went for a blue glittery look with some stars and I think it's perfect for Christmas. Very cool though, very cold. Usually for Christmas I'll opt for like red and gold and glittery. These are very cool nails. Give it a wipe, pop everything away, and now Christmas is here. We've got the tinsel, a cup of tea, and obviously the create this book. Last time we created Halloween themed prompts. So the next prompt is create a straw painting. Paint with a straw. My friend Courageous Painting did this prompt for the huge Create This Book collab and it looks like so much fun. We need a cloth and some test pieces of paper, washing up liquid, a metal straw, and I'm gonna attempt to use watercolor. My thinking is that this will be less messy. First up, we need to blow some bubbles. This worked a lot better than I thought it would. And the idea was to drop the paper on top to catch the bubbles. This didn't work, as you can see. I thought maybe there just wasn't enough paint in the water, but it just didn't work. Moving on to the second idea. Blow the bubbles and transfer them over to the paper. Now this did work, but the bubbles are not colored in the slightest. You can't tell that there's watercolor paint in this pot of water. So I'm dropping paint into the bubbles. Very carefully, trying not to pop the bubbles. And that's kind of working, so let's keep going. We need to fill the entire page. And we're on to the second test piece. The first is printer paper, which seemed to spread quite a lot. And this second one is the drawing paper that I got from IKEA. And it's looking like this is the winner. The bubbles have retained their shape just a little bit better. For the third test, we're back to printer paper. With this one, I really wanted to see if we could use less bubbles to control where they were and where the paint is added. But as you can see on the printer paper, it just becomes a huge mess. It stays wet for a long while, it soaks up any other bubbles that are added to the page. On top of the bubbles already there, it's not working. The paper just absorbs it all and it looks like a mess. One final try on this paper and it's a big nope. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. It's not working. Let's cut up some more of this IKEA paper because it seems to be the best so far. And I don't know how Christine made this look so easy. This is the fifth test piece now, but this one is gonna end up being today's daily doodle diary. So there's a reason. I mean, I guess I'm really just trying to figure out a technique that will work, and it's not happening. There is no way to actually control bubbles. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely easier at this point. Less bubbles seems to be the way forward, and having a simple color palette really worked. So let's do this. Moving on to this piece. First, we need to blow the bubbles. Second is dropping the paint on the bubbles because it just didn't really work in the pot. And I had to use a hairdryer. Building up the page in layers really did seem to work. But this wasn't the original plan. As you might have already guessed, this prompt and the next one are Christmas themed. We need to paint with a straw, and my intention was to make some nice fluffy clouds. Now you might be looking at this page and thinking, how on earth are those gonna look like clouds? And I'm thinking the same. So for now, how's about we just pop them on the floor to dry and figure out how we're gonna do that later. And can you believe I actually cut my lip on the straw? Moving on to the second prompt. Create an emoji. What's an emoji you wish existed? This one had me stumped for quite a while, but it's Christmas themed. So obviously we need to draw Santa as lots of different emojis. This is either gonna work or it's really not. First, we need to grab all of the alcohol markers, and honestly, there's not many colors. Most emojis are pretty much the same color, and I didn't really think about this when I thought about making the page, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if it will actually work, if I can actually pull it together. There is currently only one Santa emoji, so I decided to create a page that's filled with loads of different Santa emojis that don't exist, but I think easily could. I mean, for starters, we need to add the obvious. Every single Santa needs a hat and a beard, which does mean that this page is looking very odd for a long while, but you're gonna have to trust the process with me here. I picked out the most interesting emojis to turn Santa into, and also the ones that I tend to use most. I mean, a Santa Claus with sunglasses is just cool. There really should be one of those. I'm also loving the concept of seeing Santa with heart eyes and like the love hearts all over his face. Of course, we've got Santa crying with laughter and then actually completely crying. A Santa sticking his tongue out. I don't use that emoji, I just thought it would look funny. And then some of the odd shocked face ones. The kind of pleading eyes emoji and the one where they look kind of scared. I think I picked out quite interesting ones. I don't know, did we miss any? Really, there's loads we could have done. I did consider doing the angry face emoji, the one that's like bright red, but I thought it might really stand out on this page. As much as I wanted every emoji to look different, I kind of thought it would look better if the entire page was also cohesive, and I think adding a background is really going to tie this piece together. Although it's a little bit repetitive because every single emoji uses the same colors. I mean, I'm grabbing a brown, adding in the eyes and the eyebrows and the nose to every single emoji on this page, and then reaching for the black, the sunglasses and the eyes. It's the kind of repetitive art that a lot of people probably wouldn't like, and sometimes I feel like that too, but actually it was really nice to just sit there and not really concentrate, to just put color down on a page and really just block in color. Like really, all I had to do was grab a red and then color in everything that needed to be red. I had something on TV and it was really relaxing and therapeutic. Honestly, out of every single page we've created so far, this one was probably the most fun, simple and relaxing. The background is purple, which was a spontaneous decision, but there is some logic. Okay, so the faces are all yellow, and yellow is opposite purple on the color wheel. Yeah, that's it. That's literally the entire logic for the background. And I mean, it kind of works, so why not keep it simple? This time, I remembered to leave a gap for the prompt to show through. Look at that, we're learning. Though I did miscalculate the size a little bit. Avoiding all this mess on the floor and reaching for the color pencils. Do these Santa emojis really need texture? I don't know. I mean, they're emojis. Do they have skin texture? I guess we're adding it anyway. Not too much, just a little bit of blush, defining the hair and the beards, and basically just creating texture all over. But that's when I realized we need to define the lines. It's looking a bit odd. It looks unfinished, but there's a lot of line work to add. Well, I did it, we're done. Now we need to slice it in half. This is the worst part, and you're about to see why. I literally cut it too small. Can you believe I've cut it too small? I don't know what we're gonna do about this. I mean, really, what can you do at this stage? I can't believe I did it. And I guess all of my fears were valid. I put the gap in the middle instead, and I think it looks less obvious. But now we need to move back to the first prompt. And this is how the pages are looking. Can you believe they've actually dried much better? All of the bubbles are defined. I don't know how that happened, and maybe I should have just trusted the process. But still, these are not looking like clouds. Wish me luck. And I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm scared. I'm noticing this white patch, and I wonder if this is where we could add Santa's sleigh. The idea all along was to create some clouds and then define the edges with a marker, but these clouds don't have any edges, so we're gonna skip over that. And then I was gonna add Santa as a silhouette with all of the reindeers and the sleigh going through the clouds. That was the idea from the beginning. Obviously, we've taken some turns and using metallic gel pens that are not really showing up at all. But I love the textures on this page, and I really don't want to cover them up. But now I'm terrified to cut this one in half. When I tell you I checked like 10 times, that is not an exaggeration. And I did it. This one fits. But I did forget to add a window. So we need to cut out a window for the prompt to show through. Sticking both of those in, and I can't wait to show you both finished pages in just a moment. The straw painting looks so much better than I ever could have imagined, and it was fun. You should definitely give it a try this Christmas. I think it would be a really fun activity for kids, well, and adults. I'm an adult, I had fun, because the end result is something else. This is how both of the pages have turned out. Both of our Christmas themed prompts. I had a lot of fun. Which one is your favorite? I'll see you back here on Sunday to paint a Christmas movie together. Bye bye.